Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. This is Straight Facts Commentary where I give you my unpopular opinions in everything pop culture. So please stick around and subscribe for more. Hey y'all, I am back again with another video, and in today's video, you see the title, we are going to be speaking about Chloe Bailey and Beyonce, but mostly Chloe Bailey. I just wanted to have a conversation about her career and just different things that I feel like could have contributed to her career just not being in the mainstream place that it is. Not to say she's not doing her thing, but you all know mainstream, how she was projected to be. And the topic of Beyonce lingers around that conversation a lot when it comes to Chloe, so I wanted to talk about it. If you're interested in her, female rap, pop, conspiracy theories, trending topics, my unpopular opinions, whatever I feel like getting into for real, go ahead and subscribe, and let's get into this video. Okay, so I've been thinking about Chloe and her career in general, and just the different conversations that come up around Chloe as to why her career is not in the mainstream place that it should be. Now, I feel like it's multiple factors as to why Chloe isn't in the mainstream positioning. But one of the main conversations I see come up is the Beyonce comparison. And this happens so much, and it will happen with other artists as well, but it happens a lot with Beyonce and Rihanna and different artists like that, where an artist will come up, they're in their prime where they're doing very well, and all of a sudden they're getting comparisons to some of the greatest in music history. It happened with Normani. A lot of people compare Normani to Beyonce because she's a great performer. Not because of her singing skills necessarily, but because she's an amazing performer. She can dance like nobody's business. She commands the stage and the audience. And so Normani got hit with that comparison very early on. And I feel like that was a detriment to her brand and her image and her career in some factors, because then that puts a very high expectation on you. And I was thinking about it when it came to Chloe as well. I feel like that was something that was very highly placed on Chloe in the beginning of her career, and even more so than Normani. Normani, it was mentioned here and there, but with Chloe, it was mentioned a lot more. And the reason why is because Chloe and Halle, I believe, are both on not Rock Nation, Parkwood Entertainment, I believe. And so they're very close knit with Beyonce. We would see pictures and videos of them together. We knew that, Beyonce mentored them, and most specifically was mentoring and nurturing Chloe along her musical career, because in the beginning, Chloe was, more music focused and Halle was more acting focused. And I believe that Chloe, she said it herself that she's taken a lot of inspiration from Beyonce, whether it has to do with music, dance, style, everything. I feel like when it comes to Chloe Bailey's image, you can see little twinges and essences of Beyonce when it comes to her performing, when it comes to her singing, when it comes to her style even. I remember in I think it was a discourse at the time on Twitter when she dropped her music video for Have Mercy. A lot of the looks in that music video felt very Beyonce inspired. It felt very Formation inspired. There's a lot of looks in there. I was like, oh my gosh, the way she's carrying herself, the way she looks, it gives very much Beyonce. And not that that's a bad thing. Obviously, the woman has been mentoring her. She's been at her side. She discovered Chloe and Halle, but specifically Halle at a very young age. I think Halle or Chloe was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old, something very young when they first met Beyonce. So it's not surprising that, with her being such a close mentor to her all of these years, that when she finally starts making music and when she finally goes solo, that she's not gonna take from her. But I think a lot of people felt like while Chloe is very talented and while she can dance and while she can act and while she can do all of these things, I felt as though a lot of people felt like, okay, she's taking a lot of inspiration from Beyonce. They see a lot of Beyonce in Chloe and that they don't see enough of Chloe in Chloe. And I can definitely see where people were coming from with that. It's definitely 100% true. I could see, especially when she was first starting out solo, the heavy Beyonce inspiration. there, and her constantly talking about her in interviews, and she kind of made being associated with Beyonce a big part of her brand and a big part of her image, which is totally fine. Of course, she's going to love her, she's going to mention her, but I think that is what she became more known for than her being an individual. On top of several other reasons why people were starting not to really mess with Chloe that much anyway, especially her core audience. The over sexualization was a big thing that turned a lot of people off from her. A lot of people still, even now, find Chloe cringe and disingenuous, and so they feel as though her image doesn't necessarily match how she acts on a day to day or in interviews or just when she's seen anywhere else other than making music. So, that as well. So there's a lot of factors, but I do feel like the Beyonce thing has negatively impacted her because a lot of people look at her as an extension of Beyonce instead of her own artist. And I'm pretty sure at one point there was this controversy when she first was releasing her very first album, not Trouble in Paradise, but In Pieces, where her fans were asking for certain music, but she was saying that she wasn't going to put out this particular single or song or something because Beyonce had told her to put out something else. So some people also felt like Beyonce was a little bit too involved in her career, which at the same time she's supposed to be because, again, she's mentoring her and she is signed to her label or management or something of the sort. So of course Beyonce is going to be involved. But some people felt like, okay, well, on top of you being heavily inspired by her, you're taking advice from her, which is cool, but you're not listening to what your fans wanted. So a lot of people felt like, okay, we're not getting much out of it here. And the Beyonce lore just goes deeper and deeper because while that was an issue with her at the beginning of her career, even now people feel like Beyonce being attached to Chloe is negatively impacting her because a lot of people feel as though Beyonce is attached to Chloe and people know Chloe and associate them two together, but they don't feel as though Beyonce is promoting Chloe or Halle properly as them being a part of Beyonce's label. So they're like, okay, you are signed to one of the biggest artists in the entire world, but you're not getting the press or attention or the proper promotion. Now, I do see what people are saying with this, but at the same time, her second album didn't perform well sales wise. So I don't see them, Beyonce's team or Beyonce herself investing too much into Chloe at this point. They did put a little bit more promo into In Pieces when that first, came out because it was her first album, it was her first major push. But naturally, that same level of enthusiasm or money or push or effort isn't going to go into the next project if it isn't selling appropriately. And we do know the Carters, their business forward first. Business first, money first, music first. They're going to make sure that they're getting the bag some kind of way from the situation, of course. So it would make sense that they're not pushing her latest project. But the question that I have for you guys is do you feel as though in a mainstream sense that Chloe will be able to revive her career? We obviously know she has a career and that she is talented. She's a brilliant singer, a brilliant dancer. She has fans. She has a career. No one's saying she doesn't have one. I mean, in a mainstream capacity, what we projected that she would be, or where she would be, or, the successful, huge, mega star like SZA, or, main pop icon girly like Sabrina, like a big, big known career that we would want for Chloe. Do you all feel as though that's possible for her to achieve at this point? I definitely think so. Yes, she's had a lot of bumps in the road. Yes, she's had a lot of things that I feel like people have kind of pushed her aside. They acknowledge her as talented, but they pushed her aside and they don't give her the recognition as much anymore. But because she has that baseline of talent and because she has the people that she has behind her, I think that she will be able to do something eventually. Maybe not right now, but hopefully eventually she'll be able to hit that mainstream level because she's beyond talented. There's no reason why she shouldn't be able to do it. If there are people out here who are working off of less, they don't have nearly as much talent, but they're able to have huge mainstream popping careers and success, then there's no reason why Chloe shouldn't be able to have the same thing. So, you guys let me know though what you think about that. And that's really it for this one. I love you, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.